What's up, gamers? So basically today I'm going to be teaching you how to moonwalk. I'm finally going to be teaching you how to moonwalk, and this is going to be a very long video, so I suggest you check out the timestamps in the description. Thank you very much for 473 subscribers. When I'm recording this I have 473, but yeah. And so we're almost at 500, so subscribe and like, or else I'll eat your chromosome, and you don't want that to happen. But anyways, let's get straight into the video. Before we learn how to moonwalk, you have to make sure that you have these three things that I'm about to list, or you just cannot moonwalk. Okay, so first of all, you want to make sure that you have a mouse that can double click or drag click. Both are the same thing, but if you do not have a mouse that can double click or drag click, this moonwalking does not work, because only double clicking and drag clicking is the only way to go. The most best moonwalking you can do is with double clicking and drag clicking, and if you don't have a double clicking or drag clicking mouse, you should get one. But yeah, that's really important. You need to make sure that you can moonwalk, because double clicking and drag clicking is very important, and you have to make sure you have a mouse that can do that. Second thing is, you want to make sure that moonwalking is all about timing. Okay, so timing is very important, and without timing you cannot moonwalk. So timing is very important, and it takes a lot of your time, but it's very rewarding to learn, so it's like a skill. But anyways, timing is also needed in moonwalking, which I'll be teaching in this video. The third thing is, drag clicking or double clicking is also needed in moonwalking. So yeah, just make sure you have those three things, and you can actually learn how to moonwalk. Alright guys, so I'm going to be teaching you where to aim when you're moonwalking. So aim is very important, and without aiming you just cannot moonwalk. Okay, you can't just aim here and just start moonwalking. That's not how it works. You can't just aim somewhere like down here and start moonwalking. That's not how it works. But aiming is very important. Also, if you're wondering why I'm not using the hand cam right now, I'll be using it further in the video. But anyways, so you want to make sure you're aiming right at the line. So right at the top upper edge. So as you can see, I'm aiming at the top line, the upper edge of the block, and right at the line. So I'm aiming at the top, which is perfect, and I'm moving sideways and sideways. This is awesome. You want to aim somewhere here, the top. Okay, and this is the perfect place to aim. You don't want to be all the way here. You don't want to be all the way sideways when you're aiming. So you don't want to you don't want to aim sideways. You don't want to aim all the way down here, and that also does not work. You want to aim somewhere up here. Aiming up here is the best thing you can do, and that is like the best place to moonwalk. You do get indeed more CPS, and you do moonwalk more if you aim somewhere here. If you need help aiming, like where to aim, what I suggest you to do is go to the corner of the block, and then bring your cursor all the way up here, like to the sideways. As you can see, that transition right there. Yep. There you go, we just moonwalk like a pro. Yeah, so timing is very important, and I mean not timing. So you want to aim at the top of the block, right there. Okay, right at the top of the block, as you can see. So you want to aim somewhere up here. Okay, you don't want to be too sideways, like I said. You don't want to be all the way here, way to the side. You don't want to be all the way down here, and that will ruin your moonwalking. So the best place to aim is at the top, right here. And yeah, that is like the best place to moonwalk. So the upper area is best. You don't need any chords. Chords are not important. What I personally do is I just like eyeball it where I feel like it's perfect. So if I'm just here, I'm in a quick bedwar situation, I'm gonna come here And I feel like this is like, I just aim right at the top, and I feel like this is the perfect angle, and I just start moonwalking. That's how simple it is. But yeah, anyways, so that's all you need to know for aiming. It's very simple. So if you're wondering what type of clicking is needed when you're moonwalking, that is double clicking or short drags. So double clicking is when I just drop my finger on the mouse, I get 2 CPS. So, or when I just drop it, I get 2 CPS. So this means my mouse can double click. You can use this way to moonwalk, but it requires more timing. So if I try it, it's more harder. It's definitely way more harder. But what I like to do is I like to do short drags, which are like timed drags. Like that. But anyways, so if you want to, okay, so you just do that. That's your double CPS. You can use this to moonwalk, or you could use short drags, which are just these. You just drop your finger on the mouse, and it's like short drags when you're moonwalking. So you could either use short drags or double clicking when you're moonwalking, but it all requires timing, so it's very important. So it's either double clicks or short drags. Both of them can work. But butterflying and jittering does not work. It's a horrible way to moonwalk. See, it just does not work. If I even try it, it does not work. It just does not work. If I try to jitter is horrible because you can't aim anywhere. And that's why jittering and butterflying are horrible ways to moonwalk. But yeah, double clicking and drag clicking are honestly the best ways to moonwalk. The most hardest part to learn in moonwalking is the timing. So without the timing, it can't work. So the timing is very, very important, and without the timing, you just cannot moonwalk. So you want to make sure that you're timing it well, or else you can't moonwalk. Even if you have 40 CPS or 20 CPS or even 100 CPS, you just cannot moonwalk because the timing is so important. So what timing basically is, it's when, for example, if I align my cursor at the block, I'm ready to moonwalk. So I'm currently holding down A and S, right? When I hold down A and S, I go to the left. So there we go. I'm going to the left, right? So but when I press D, I stay on the block. The cursor stays in the middle because I'm trying to stay on the block, and the cursor, when I'm holding down A and S, I'm going to the left, but as soon as I press D, I'm going to the right. So that's what moonwalking is. You're tapping D to stay on the block, right? So I'm holding down Shift, right? And as soon as I let go of Shift, I'm going to start moonwalking. I'm going to press D as soon as I let go of Shift, right? So what you're supposed to do is, I'm holding down Shift right now. So as soon as I let go of Shift, I'm going to start moonwalking by pressing D. So 1, 2, 3, and then. So as you just saw, those blocks I placed, those were only done because I clicked my mouse and tapped D at the same time. So clicking D and pressing and clicking your mouse is like the timing. So you want to press D and click at the same time. So if I try right now, if I just try, in the left corner you can see that I'm clicking at them at the same time. My both of them go white. So you want to make sure that both of them match. You can't just click and tap like randomly. Like, you can't do that, right? So that's very important in time. And the best way to learn it, what I like to do, is I personally take off my headphones. And what I do now is I can hear my clicky keys, right? So what I do is I just like time my clicky keys with my mouse clicks. So if I try, see, so the mouse clicks really, like the keyboard clicks and my mouse clicks really help. So what I personally like to do is I like to just take off my headphones and hear my keyboard when I'm timing. So it's very, very simple. So when you're doing that in moonwalking, if you can practice doing that normally, so just stay in like one spot, okay? You could even block yourself in, like I'm gonna do that right now, like that, right this, like, okay? So what I'm gonna do, as you can see, I am pressing D and clicking at the same time. If you look at the left, if you look at the top left, right? So just practice like this, right? And once you feel like you've gotten the hang of timing, you can try that out when you're moonwalking. So right now, I'm aiming, and then you just want to do the same thing. You're aiming, and then as soon as you let go of shift, you just want to tap D and click at the same time. So don't be afraid to click or tap D. Just, it's very, if you don't try, you can't learn how to do this. So like that. I'm not gonna jump, so I'm just gonna go like this. See, that was a 16 block moonwalk, but that was all because of timing. But wherever I don't time, it's gonna look something like this. Like it's not working because I'm not timing. And then people are like, I can't moonwalk because I just can't moonwalk because you're not timing. The timing is like a key ingredient into moonwalking. So see, it's not working. I'm not timing. Sometimes your clicks don't even register because you press D first. See? So timing is very important. But wherever I time, I get more than 3 blocks, which is progress. So when you're moonwalking, you want to make sure that you're timing. That's a key ingredient. So I'm gonna say it again: tapping D and clicking your mouse at the same time. If you're a person that moonwalks in the other way, which is like this or something, like this, and you press A instead of D, then click A and your mouse at the same time if you do it this way. So yeah, just make sure you're doing that, and it's like a very important skill to master. See, 16 moonwalk. So that's why it's very important to time. So if you can just get the hang of timing, you're gonna be unstoppable at moonwalking. It's that important. So timing is like a key ingredient, and it's very, very important. You can even do it with low CPS. If your timing is that good, you can even do it with low CPS. So if I try, as you can just see, I'm just getting 5 CPS or 8. But that's not even that much, but I can time it because I'm getting low CPS, but I'm still moonwalking because I'm timing it. So if I try again, see, so if you can time that with the low CPS, you can still moonwalk. So yeah, I hope this part helped you out. It's very, it was a bit complicating, but it's truly worth to learn in the end. Alright guys, so there's like one more thing, and this is called resetting your moonwalking. And this is really important if you're trying to learn how to moonwalk. If you want to constantly moonwalk and not fall, then I suggest that you should try to reset your moonwalking. So what I mean by this, if I try to moonwalk as far as I can, okay, I was 19 blocks of moonwalking, right? But I actually fell, and that's not good because I fell. So what you want to do is you want to reset your moonwalk constantly. So what I do is I do 10 blocks of moonwalk, and then I jump, and then I take a shift, and then I start moonwalking again, and I do that pattern consistently, and that's how I can reach the other side with no problem. So let me try to show you this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So just like that. And as you can see, I made it all the way there because I was resetting by 10 each time. Now you don't have to do it by 10. You can do it by 12 or 10. But if you're a beginner, I suggest you should start off by 10 or even 8 if you're that confused. But I do not judge you because moonwalking is a skill to learn, and it's really fun to do if you can learn it. but I suggest 10 or 8 or 12 blocks. But if you get really good at moonwalking, then you can do 15 blocks each, and that's also really good. So 15 blocks each would always bring you to a good good distance. So each time you moonwalk, you just want to you want to reset. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And see, we already made it. That's how simple it is. So that's what I mean. So you want to keep that pattern consistently, and you'll make it to the other side. So yeah, you just want to reset your moonwalk constantly. And if you get better, you could even go by 12s or 14 or 16. Like, it's your choice, whichever number you feel good with. Okay guys, so this is like a tip you can use to help you out. But if you're a beginner and you need like extra help in moonwalking, so here's like a tip I came up with. I think someone else mentioned this in a different video. But you can use grid wool like texture packs. Like, as you can see, each wool here has like a grid on it. As you can see, like these little grids going across it. These can kind of help you moonwalk. So personally, this is the first grid. Then the second one is right here. So it can kind of help you like aim where you're trying to aim. So if you're trying to aim somewhere up here, then you gotta aim like there with the little blocks. So it kind of helps you. I'm not even sure, but these are some tips you can use to help you moonwalk. So you can use like gridded texture packs with like gridded wool. So Cool Dudes 951's texture pack, or Intel Edits Nebula. This is the current one I'm using right now. Hold up, yep. The current one I'm using right now is Nebula by Lushi. Now there are tons of packs that can give you these gridded effect on the wool, and they are kind of helpful if you're new to moonwalking. Oh, what that says. Subscribe or ice cream truck will kidnap you. Guys, you gotta subscribe right away, right now. It's gonna kidnap you. Okay. Anyway, sorry. But anyways, let me try on different packs and show you what it looks like. So I switched to one here. It's called Nightmare, and it's by Volter, VLTR. As you can see really closely, it has these little grids on it, as you can see, and you can use these to help you. Now you can find tons of packs with these gridded wool, and yeah, it's nothing that hard to find. It's actually a really popular type of wool. So yeah, I say you should use gridded wool if you're really new to moonwalking. I will also link some helpful texture packs that have this gridded wool in the description below, so feel free to check that out in the description below. So basically, I've switched to Lunar. I'm currently on BLC just to show you another way that can help you moonwalk. So if you know that you can customize your own crosshair, right? So I'm not sure Lunar has the arrow or the arrow, but you can use different type of cursors to help you moonwalk. So if I currently click on shift and type in crosshair, you'll see this, and just go here, and you can change the shape to whatever you like. So you can change it to arrow, which is like the majority that uses, and you can change like anything you want about it. So there, you can change it. This is your personal preference. Like, I don't think my personal preference here matters, but as you can see right now, my cursor is white. I'll change that just so you guys can see that on the blue wool. Alright, there we go. So this cursor I have right here, like the arrow, you've seen many YouTubers use this, such as Bedless Noob, other God Bridging YouTubers. Well, this arrow really works well with God Bridging, but if you need help with moonwalking, this could possibly work. But I mean, this is a personal preference, but I would not really recommend using an arrow because it's really simple. But as you can see, this helps you kind of like angle out your block placement. So as you can see, the top of the arrow is touching the line, and I have this like angle to the right side. So and then I'll just start moonwalking, just like here. But the top of the arrow is technically the middle of the crosshair, so think of that. I'm not good with the arrow because I do not use it, but you can use the arrow. Check out Bedless Noob's tutorial. He has like the detailed guide of how to use the arrow and stuff. But anyways, that's one thing. You can also use a dot. Now, this is also a really good way of moonwalking, but this is like a simple little dot, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So basically a dot is like very small, right? You can make it bigger, but I have like a really small. But this kind of like helps you like exactly aim where you're trying to go. So it's like way more simple and it's more accurate, like right there. Like it's that small, so I can easily point it out. And as you can see, it's very accurate. The problem is you might have a bit trouble in PvP. So it's one of those things. I do not use any of these crosshairs, that's why I cannot moonwalk. But a dot is more like simple. It's way more simplified. And it's really easy to pinpoint where you're aiming. It's more accurate, so you can use this. One thing I don't like about the dot is it's very hard to PvP. It's like your aim has to be really good with the dot, and PvP too. Also, if you are wondering what type of cursor I use, here are my settings right here. So feel free to copy these if you really need to. This is the cursor I use, and yeah, I mean, the settings are right here.